Hello, hello, hello. Welcome for another episode of Author Spotlight. Hey, it's your host with the most, your main man, Darren M. Palmer. Excited to be with you, where I get the honor and the privilege to interview those who are making a difference across the globe and go behind the scenes with best-selling authors. You're not seeing them on a TED Talk. You're not seeing them on stage. You're able to have them up and close and get personal. Today we have on today my main man, the VP himself, Mr. Vice President of Self Publishing 30 Days, Taj Dashaun. Say hello to the people, Taj.
What's going on, beautiful people? Pleasure to be here with you, Darren.
Awesome, man. The pleasure is all ours, man. So the word is on the street, man, that you got a book, man. That is it's at the time of the recording, at the recording of this, you already have put the information out about the book launch. So you've already did the work, the outline, the whole nine, and now all of a sudden it's really here. It's really true that you are an author, man. So let's first say congratulations to you about that. And I just want to just ask you before we go into the interview, how does that feel, man, knowing that you actually did it?
It feels amazing, man. It feels amazing. First of all, thank you for the congratulations. And obviously, me being an author wouldn't be possible without you, sir, and the great team over at Self Publishing 30 Days helping me make the process super easy. Um, it feels great. It's not even something that was even really on my radar until you and I crossed paths. I've been telling people, Darren, I've been telling people my vision of the book was always like, man, I'll write a book someday when I'm old and gray. I'll write a legacy piece and give something to the grandkids once I made it, not realizing that writing the book right now is a way to have an impact right now. And I already have so much to share that there's no reason not to write it right now. So here we are. It didn't take long. It wasn't difficult. The process was fun. And we're at the finish line, home stretch.
Awesome, man. I think that what you shared there, and those were some great nuggets. But I just want to unpack a few of the things that you had just shared with us. And the main thing is, I think that's a myth that we need to debunk right now for those who are listening. I was the same way as you. I mean, you weren't by yourself. As the great Michael Jackson once said, that you are not alone. So, that's the same thing that I felt as well. And I talked to countless others by the industry that we're in, who they come in thinking like that. Like, hey, like a book, really? No, no, bro. That's something that you do when you're getting ready to cross on over, you're getting ready to transition in life. That's what you do when you just can't do anything else, and you feel like that you're retired and you about to just get say it's quits and just wave the white flag. But contrary to what most people believe, that is the catalyst that can allow for you to live the life that you desire, whether that's philanthropy work, whether that's giving back, if that's a nonprofit, if it's an area of expertise. And I know it's used in the entrepreneur and business owner space quite a bit, but I've also seen the benefits of this too, Taj. And I want to hear your thoughts on this, of individuals who actually work 9 to 5 or who have a career, but it still allow for them to be able to be positioned within their company, allow for them to be highlighted by the HR department, because those soft skills, those are some of the things that they're doing off the clock, so to speak, that they're doing that people are highlighting. I've actually even seen people in education get opportunities, not even having to be professors, but getting access to where they create, whole programs and create jobs that didn't even exist because of the content that they created. So those are just some of the things that I've been able to experience. And I know we're going to talk about Thrive After Sports and the whole nine, but share that part of it though, Taj, of some of the benefits of being an author besides just a sale, or just besides just saying I'm on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. Uh, Talk to us a little bit about what you've experienced with others by you serving, and also what you've experienced yourself by some of the rooms and some of the conversations you've been able to have with people because of being an author.
Yeah, for sure, Darren. So for me, for my own personal experience, and this is why it's great that now coming on as vice president again to help other people, it's easy to sing from the mountaintops and sing the praises of the process of something that you believe in and haven't just been through yourself, right? So through the people that we're working with right now, facilitating projects, one of the greatest things that we're having discussions about is that you grow as an individual, let alone all the opportunities, excuse me, but just as an individual, the process of writing a book forces you to really dig deep and see what is it what do I actually know, right? And that's been one of the major things for me, is getting me to a point where taking those deep dives, really putting myself to the test and becoming more of a subject matter expert in my field. And anybody will tell you that when they're writing a book, anybody I'm working with to help them do their projects, and we're working with right now, the same thing. Aside from that, I think it just gives, it's almost like people view you in a different light. Like, wow, this person is serious about their craft. They actually took the time and dedicated time to write a book. They're 100% serious about what they're doing. And I think people take you more seriously and are more likely to want to do business with you or hear what you have to say, just because you've put the time and energy into creating something, you know?
I love that. And what you brought up is the credibility piece. Because for those who are looking at that great feat, that accomplishment, they know that, hey, that wasn't something that was just given out. That's somebody who was invested, whether it was monetary ways of being invested, whether it's the time, the effort, and I just want to give another angle to this too while we're talking about this, is that when you're in the space that we're in and you have a growth mindset, you're constantly growing and looking for another edge, and you're part of a lot of, overachievers, so to speak. And so if you're not careful, you will start to just think, because it is for you, but you think that the rest of the world is that way. And what I mean by that is you start thinking that it's normal for everyone to have a book, or it's just
Mm.
normal for everyone to be putting that type of work in, or to have that kind of thought process of growth. But you have to keep in mind, for those who are listening to this, it's still a huge accomplishment. Don't take it lightly. Even if you're in the growth area, even if it might be a book that you thought could have been done better or whatnot, if you're not careful, you will start thinking that, oh, it's easy. Oh, anybody can do it. And I'm just playing like an angel advocate, so to speak. I'm doing like an angel advocate. And for those of you who are those high producers, those overachievers, don't allow your thought of, really, it's not a big deal. I know all these people are part of these groups. I'm a part of this network, and they got a book. It really wasn't done right. So when I get ready to do one, I need it to be perfect and all that. No, 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 no. You're still forfeiting opportunities because you think you know something. Just because someone else, maybe cut corners, or they didn't do it to your liking. There's some things about when you work with experts, there are people who are able to help you elevate your game and your mindset, how you can utilize that book or your expertise as far as what you've been able to accomplish over the years to be beneficial and to make an impact, which will lead to income too as well. So I don't want to leave out none. The eyes, the impact, and the income, they go together. They run parallel. And so let's talk about that, Taj. Uh, I mean, I know people are excited and the whole nine about the book, but you dug into serving people through the content in your book, even though you share pieces of your story. So let's talk about your mindset far as going in saying, hey, I want this to be usable. I want something tangible that, yeah, I'm sharing a little bit about me, but I want those who are reading it to benefit and live a better quality life by what they learn, by the gems that you put in the book. So talk about that mindset of why you took the writing angle that you did as far as creating the content in the book.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Darren, because that was one of the most important pieces for me when I was writing this book, that I didn't want it to be an autobiography. I didn't want it to be, my name is Taj and I was born in Pasadena in 1991. All that stuff is great, but at the end of the day, Darren, I'm a coach. I've been working with athletes for several years now. So I wanted to make sure that the book was addressing the issues that I had seen through my coaching. And I wanted the book to essentially be my coaching curriculum, my coaching philosophy in book format. That way, the book can become more of a tool than a story. I don't want people sitting there staring out the window, reading my book, just drifting off. I want them to be applying what they're reading and being able to learn and grow from it. So it was very strategic when I was writing it. I wanted to make sure that that was a major factor. I wanted people to be engaged, not just sitting back, but be involved in the book and be a part of their own growth and be an active part of that, rather than just sitting back thinking they're going to get a presentation or something. So that was really important to me, and that's, like I said, it made it really easy to do that because I was putting myself to the test through all the coaching I had done over the years and really trying to incorporate that into book format. And it made me better. Like I said, it made me grow. And I'm really excited to get the book in people's hands because I know it's going to impact a lot of people.
Taj, I want you to talk about this too, because you're talking about impact. But one thing that I've noticed about you, um, seeing the growth that you had over the year, and those who've been watching you longer or whatnot, not only the book, you've had, you know, some major moves that you've been able to make by taking on the VP role. Not only are you doing your book, but you're coaching. So I want to talk to them about this, the moves you're making, but you're doing you in a greater capacity. And what I mean is that you've always been innate to your core. You're a coach,
Right.
you know. So now it's taking different forms from transition coaching to helping people with their books to business coaching. But at the end of the day, you're a type of person who's a coach and you're helping people reach their full potential. So let's talk about that as far as the mindset of being able to see yourself outside of being one dimensional for as I'm only can do transition coaching or I only can do this type of coaching if it's for a team or a DB coach. Let's talk about how you've been able to take that and leverage it and go to other areas and still keep your core of who you are as a coach and someone who wants to help people.
Well, I have you to thank for that once again, Darren, because you gave me that different perspective on you can still help a specialized group of people, but realizing that, like you said, at my core, I'm someone who wants to help, just like you. You know, I'm someone who wants to serve people. I'm someone who's constantly growing and wants to help other people grow as well. So coming on board in the VP role, it was perfectly aligned. Just everything that I was already doing, I'm able to do those same things, but on a bigger scale and help a broader audience. So, and you touched on it just a second ago. I'm still coaching people by helping them develop their projects, by helping them tell their stories to the world, by helping them grow their businesses and leverage different opportunities. So, like you said, I watch myself grow. It's exciting to see because I think I've come out of my shell a lot in terms of, just being in the room with the door closed, just helping athletes all day, which is great. I'm still doing that, but being able to help people on a broader scale has been, and the relationship that have developed from it, just over the past of this course year, the past of this past year, the relationships I developed with different people that we're working with has been awesome, and I didn't see it before you and I crossed paths. So I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity to work with the company and, to be able to talk to you every day and get a lot of growth through our conversations that we have every morning. And it's a wonderful thing. And we're just getting started. So I'm excited for what the future holds too.
That's good, man. Now all of a sudden you see what my wife experienced, getting to talk to me. You're a blessed man, boy. You're a blessed man. Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
but yeah,
blessed.
that's a whole other story. We'll get to that out there. Okay, I'm just for
She
those
must
who
be in the
know.
room. Is she in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
room?
yeah. We gotta have a good time here, people. So I know I'm
Yeah.
like some people, oh my God, did he really say that? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Just ask her. She's blessed. But as we progress and move forward now, just having a good time. But we love to crack jokes. We love to have fun, and I think that's something that's missing, far as in business and also just in partnerships. Because when you bring up what we've been able to do, you talk about Thrive After Sports, and that's why I'm bringing this home with the different things that you've been able to do by staying true to you at your core and doing what's innate to you or whatnot, and leveraging that by creating impact and also finding a way. To create income too. I think that so many people try to say that you got to be one dimensional. Hey, if you're going to be a coach, you got to be over in this area. If you're going to make an impact, don't worry about income, because if you're going to make impact, you're not going to make income, which is totally false. So it's these limited beliefs that people put on. But I want to talk to those when it comes to Thrive After Sports. I think it's ironic that even though you weren't trying to do this, that you're actually living what you're writing about. And some might say,
Right.
okay, what do you mean by that, Darren? So Taj helps, and he's helped before, with people transitioning, whatever that may be. If it's from the military, if it's from being a solopreneur to being a business owner, whether it's been someone who leverage the content that they know in the area of expertise to be able to do a book, he's leveraging that with coaching. Okay. But he's showing how to thrive after sports with the book, but he's showing you how to thrive in no matter what the area is in your life. So it might be thriving after getting kicked out of school. It might be thriving after the divorce. It might be thriving after the pandemic. And so don't limit this book to just thinking that it's sports. This is really every area of life. So how do you thrive at the US? The great Mike Tyson, who fought the other weekend or whatnot, shared, everybody got a plan till they get punched in the mouth. And so this is what the thrive after sports is really how to thrive when you get hit by life. And when you find yourself in an unfamiliar territory and it's uncomfortable and it's not, you got to be unorthodox in your thinking. What are the steps that you need to take? And you give them tangible steps. So I look at your scenario of you making a transition, leaving the corporate vibe or whatnot, saying that you're going to do entrepreneurship, made some of the mistakes that most entrepreneurs make when they first get started. And then all of a sudden you got, you hit your face on the concrete, got punched in the mouth, dealt with some losses, had to, recalibrate, but didn't give up. But you didn't just sit there, you made the necessary adjustments. You didn't have it all figured out, but you were committed to figuring it out. But at the same time, you knew I had to grow as an individual. I got to work on my skill sets. I need to make sure that I learn new skills. Even though I seem like I don't have it, I still got to invest. So it's getting out of that mindset of a fixed mindset into a growth mindset where you could easily say, well, man, I don't have it to invest. Well, you'll never have it. See, that's the difference.
Right.
And see, and so that's the thing that keeps most people stuck because they're waiting on the opportune time, and you got to make it be the opportune time. And then you'll start finding that you attract the right things to you that will allow for the process to get in your favor because you're getting better. And so, Taj, I look at what you've been able to do for as learning the skill sets for as doing podcasts, what you're doing different shows for the company now. I look at on my notes or whatnot, what you're doing with helping people with books. Now you're an author now. Now all of a sudden you got a co-authoring program too that you got going on too as well that's released. So not only are you a one-time author, you're a two-time author, and you even got spots. So you didn't limit. So here we go with the coaching again. You were coachable, you picked up on the skill set, but then you transferred that, and that's what you do with athletes and other business owners as well, and those who are even authors. So let's talk about that, Todd. I want you to speak to the people out there of the importance of them leveraging, even though it might seem like it is not making sense right now, how what they're learning or what they're growing into by them becoming, they will become I am.
I think what you're really getting at, Darren, and this is kind of how my journey has unfolded leading up to now, is really just taking the leap. Not being stupid or taking you got to take some kind of risk. Obviously, you want to have strategy behind it, but just having something that you believe in and going for it, and no matter what, just continuing to push with it. Um, I think that a lot of people are afraid to do that because they're so caught up on the what ifs, or like you said, they're afraid to invest in themselves or take a chance on themselves. And from the very beginning, I'm a big believer in at least one time in your life you got to bet on yourself. That's what I did, and like you said, a bunch of doors opened up that you never even I never thought at 29 years old I'd be the vice president of the number one self-publishing company in the world, or have a book about my transition coaching, or have all these different opportunities to speak on podcasts and host different shows and connect with all these great people, or travel around the country, travel around the world. But it's all because I decided that I was going to create more for myself. So just for anybody listening, I mean, at a certain point, and this ties into my book, I talk about this in the book too. You have to make a decision whether you're going to go through life just surviving or you're going to thrive. And at the end of the day, nobody else can make that decision but you, right? And we all have that choice. And it's not necessarily financial. It could be anything, you know what I mean? Just if you don't have a good home life or something, you're just surviving in your home life and things aren't good with the family, you can decide to thrive and change those relationships. It doesn't, not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur, but you can find a line of work, a 9 to 5 that is more aligned with the type of work you want to do. You don't have to just chase a check all day long just because the job pays well, but you don't enjoy it. So I would say you just got to take a chance on yourself and make that decision. And once you make the decision, you have to stick with it. It's a decision you have to make every single day. You don't just decide once, you decide every single day you're going to live a thriving life instead of just surviving and scraping by. So I hope whoever hears this right now, if there's any area of your life where you're just surviving, I hope you make the choice to start thriving today, because you owe it to yourself and the people around you.
Wow. I mean, that's good. So for those who are listening to this, I mean, let's pick up on some of these gems that Taj is sharing with us of the importance of that you owe it to you and to those who believe in you. Man, do not miss that. Do not fumble. Do not cough that up. You know, don't lose it. Don't have a turnover right now. You know what I'm saying? It's 4th and 1 and you're going across the goal line for the championship. But if you don't have the right mindset, if you won't do it for you, do it for those who believed in you. Do it for those who gave you a ride. Do it for those who loaned you the money. Do it for those who, even if they didn't do that, they just actually believe in you because they know that you're a very talented person. So stop telling yourself what you can't do and focus on what you can do. So I want you to listen to this or whatnot. You know, at the time of this recording is right after, election time and things like that. And I heard a guy, now, it's one of the guys that we like listening to, what Patrick B. David was talking about. It's like, hey, I think people are missing what's really happening here. At the end of the day, Trump or Biden, neither one of those guys are going to come and read the book for you. They're not going to buy the course for you. They're not going to study the materials for you. They're not going to take the calculated move or risk for you. They're not going to treat their wife better. Treat your wife better for you, or you treat your husband or your significant other better for you, or reach out to that estranged relationship that you have with a family friend, a loved one, or whatever that is. That's going to lie with us, as individuals. And so, when we talk about thriving and surviving, like you brought up, it's so much. I mean, yeah, the monetary piece is there, but it's so much bigger than that. And so I think for those who are tuned into this, do not miss this. This is tremendous value here that's actually priceless. If you change your perspective, if you have a paradigm shift, you'll start finding when that work happens with you, then your universe changes, your world changes because you were able to change or whatnot. So you have an inner peace that's allowing for you to be able to make another type of judgment call or make another type of decision. When you have life roaring at you, you're able to respond instead of react. Don't miss that. You're able to respond instead of reacting. And so many of us, because we're just going through life and we're not centered, we're missing opportunities to respond instead of react or whatnot. And we're reaping the harvest of that or whatnot, whether it's destruction, whether it's limited beliefs, whether it's I can't syndrome, or if it's I'm prospering in the midst of a pandemic. I can do it. I am successful. I am a winner. I am deserving, whatnot. I'm releasing the weight that I don't want. Those are the type of things that if you got growth or fixed mindset, that's the difference, because we all have issues. We all deal with life, but the right state, the right environment, getting around others who align with you, and understanding that you control and dictate what happens is what you need to be able to thrive in whatever environment or whatever situation that you're in. And Taj, if you don't mind, for those who are tuned into this and they're saying like, hey, I like this, share with the people some of the things that you got going on, man. I mean, how can they follow you on social media? How can they, do you have any website information? Whatever you have, we'll have that information in the show notes. But I do want them to hear about services that you have, because some might say, hey, is he doing consulting with just athletes? Because I know this seems like it's an athlete's book, but I thought I heard them say something about entrepreneurs. Then I heard something about books. I'm just trying to make sure I have clarity here. So clear it up for the people, what are some services? What are some events? What are some things that you have available? And of course, please share how they can purchase a copy of the book, but share with them how they can connect with you or whatnot, and how you can be of service to them.
Absolutely, Darren. I'm Taj Dashaun across all social media platforms. The book, of course, is available at ThriveAfterSportsBook.com. And as far as services, I do transition coaching, which is awesome because now I'm able to take it a step further. I've always kind of had a soft spot for athletes who wanted to get into entrepreneurship. And I think I always kind of attracted those clients, right, who wanted to get into entrepreneurship. But me being the solopreneur, I was only able to take them so far. So now with me being VP of Self-Published in 30 Days, I'm able to help and serve these clients on a grander scale, not just athletes, but anyone who wants to become an entrepreneur. I'm able to teach them how to, leverage, build systems, build teams, and do all of that, because now I'm plugged into a system and I'm understanding how the operations work. So yeah, reach out to me for consulting. Obviously, if you want to get your book done, definitely get in touch. If you need some transition coaching, if you're just lost trying to figure out your next steps, please get in touch. And then check out the Thrive After Sports podcast as well. I'm also hosting the Power of Story podcast, the Author Spotlight podcast, or Self-Published in 30 Days. Check those out. I do a few different things, wear a few different hats these days. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not hard to find.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It sounds great, man. Well, like I said, man, I'm extremely happy for you, all the accomplishments that you're making. But also the impact that you're making, man. I don't think I know, but it's really generational, the things that you've been able to do, that person that's married, what it's doing for that relationship, that marriage, that their spouse or significant other is being a published author now. How those who have kids or those who are benefiting from the workshops or the training that you're doing, them being successful, allowing for their kids to go to a better a quality school that they want them to go to, and so many things like that. The list goes on, man. But like I say, you're doing it, you're moving forward, you're helping people, man. And so kudos to you as well, man, for all that you're doing, man. So like I said, check him out on all those shows. Taj, do you have any last words for the people, man, before you get out of here? Or put it this way, what is the one, if someone is saying, I think this book might be for me, but I'm not sure. If you don't mind, share with us, who is this book for and why should they get it?
And you touched on it earlier, Darren. This book is not just for the athlete who's lost. This is for anybody who's lost. I just so happen to be using sports and athletes as kind of the vehicle to describe what a transition looks like. So this is for anybody who wants more out of life, anybody who's lost, anybody who feels stuck, anybody who's out there and they feel like they don't know which direction they want to go. Maybe they have a vision, they have dreams in the back of their mind that they think about, but then they keep playing small and shut themselves down. This is the book for you to be able to map that out and just go for it and take a chance on yourself, like we talked about earlier. So yeah, that's what it's about. That's who it's for. Go tap in, read it. Let me know your thoughts. I love to hear about it. Give me some feedback on it. Let me know, Taj, I did this, this, and this, and my whole life changed. Let me know about it. I want to make sure that the book is effective and that it's helping people. So yeah.
Well, I want to let you know my whole life changed. So I'm gonna be the first. So my whole life changed. So we got that lined out. For those who are tuned in, you know where to reach out to Taj. We got the information in the show notes. We also want you to go and get a copy of that book. So we have the link below too as well for you to be able to do that. Also reach out to our man, follow him on social media or whatnot, or connect with us too as well if you can't. With him or follow both of us, the Self-Published, the letter N 30 Days. Just do that on all social media platforms. But until next time, if you won't change, be the change. Be blessed and be great. And remember, this is the year for your new book. And we out.